Y'all, want to thank y'all for tuning in the channel today. Today we've got a good one. I put some lift blocks on the camper. I wanted to do some towing with it before I came back and gave you a good review of whether I thought the 2-inch lift blocks were worth it or not. You know, maybe you want to go 1-inch. That's up to you. Pros and cons for me. We're going to cover that in this video real quick. Let me show you what the kit looks like. I mean, you can get online and order this kit. It's a U-bolt kit for the block. Not a big deal. Pretty easy install. Took about an hour and a half, 2 hours to install it. Just drop your axles, put your block in there, put your new U-bolts on, torque them down. You're good to go. You do need to cut these tops off. I knew I was going to temporarily try it, so I was going to cut them off if I needed to later. You don't want these hitting up here on your frame. But let me get this camera set up. I'm going to talk to you about the pros and cons, what I think about it, and whether I'm keeping them on the trailer. Alright, so we got the 2-inch blocks under here. We did some towing with it. Now this camper is 13.6 to 13.7 stock from the factory, so that's an issue. You really have to pay attention to clearances when you're towing. You have to make sure your routes don't have any low bridges and stuff like that. So adding the 2 inches, I knew that it was going to be an issue. I was like, okay, going from 13.6 to 13.9, that's really going to be an issue on clearances. I'm going to have to really pay attention. But one of the solutions for me is if I lifted it and I like the way that it towed, I have like the Coleman Mach 15 air conditioners, and those things are like, I don't know, they're like 16 or 17 inches tall. And you can order the Mach 8s that are like 5 inches tall, 15,000 BTU, same air conditioners. They're just low profile, right? And a lot of tall campers, you'll see those low profiles on the front, and the manufacturers put them on there. So I can knock off about 8 inches or so off of the top of my total height. So I was like, you know, if I put the 2-inch blocks under there and it pulls great, I'm gonna put some lower profile air conditioners on there and get me back under that 13.6, you know, get me to like 13.2. But what I found out, and this is for me, you know, every camper is going to be different. I'm almost 40 something inches to my floor height. So I've already got a high center of gravity on this camper as it sits, right? And so I knew adding those blocks was going to change a little bit. Now I do pull, I've got a large Can-Am, big 6-passenger that we put in the toy hauler. We pull the golf cart in the toy hauler. What I did notice is it was a little, I could tell the center of gravity was a little bit higher with the 2-inch blocks. And that's what I was hoping. You know, I wouldn't feel that big of a difference, but I did. You know, so if you've got a 12-foot camper or, you know, 11.5 or something like that, and you're pulling behind a truck, and, you know, you want to get it as level as you can because it's going to pull better that way. So it could be an option for you. But with this RV and my current setup and trying it, I've got about 300 to 400 miles on these blocks, and I'm going to tell you right now, they're coming out. It's just not for me. I just don't have the stability, and I feel like that center of gravity's higher. And you know, if I get any crosswinds, I can feel that camper moving a little bit more just with that 2 inches added. So again, not for me. I'm gonna pull these out today and get it back down to stock height. And also, moving forward, I've got another truck on the channel that we're gonna do reviews on, but I'm gonna do a review on the 37s. And you know, I've always ran 37-inch tires on trucks, and you know, I'm gonna go down to 35s and try to keep this moderately lower, and so that I don't have this issue. But that's for another video. But anyway, so I'm gonna pull these blocks off. I'll come back, cut that in once I get this out, maybe do some of the pulling them down for you, show you what that entails. And stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe. That's what keeps this channel going. So first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna remove these U-bolts, and it's just the reverse to put this back together. I've got this axle floating. I've got the back jacks down, the front jacks down, and then I'm gonna do one axle at a time. I did the same thing when I lifted it. It just made it easy to do it this way. So like I said, you just loosen these U-bolts up. And you're gonna have to loosen the other side up to drop it down and get the block out. But you wanna keep it a little snug on the other side so the axle doesn't completely fall out. Okay, so you just get the jack. You want to jack this all the way up. You make sure you line your center pin up on your spring. Got the old U-bolts removed. Run our U-bolts back in. I'm going to run these up, tighten them a little bit, just snug. we're going to move to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing, remove that block, and then we'll come back and we're going to torque these to about 100 to 105 foot-pounds. Then you're going to come back and torque these. Of course, I have a bad ratcheting head in this torque wrench, so I had to. Got that one, go across. That one. And that's it for this side. We just put the tire on. But thanks again for watching the video. You just do the same all the way around. And that's it. Catch you on the next one.